Hi everyone, and welcome again to another SysAid webinar. Today we're going to speak about reporting capabilities in SysAid and how to make the max of them. We're also going to see a module that we're using that's called the Manager's Portal. And here to help us do it is Hanan. How are you?
Hi, Michael. Thank you very much. I'm fine, thank you. As always, it's a pleasure to be here.
Well, it's great to have you here again. So this is something that we've been waiting to show you for quite a long time. Before we start doing that, let's take a look at the session agenda. Okay, so today we're going to show how to use reports to monitor your help desk progress, how to identify reports that will give you the most valuable data in your help desk, other reporting options that we're going to look at, you'll see what we talk about in a moment, and how to create custom reports, which I'm sure all of you want to know. So, like I said, this is something that we've been waiting to show our viewers for quite a long time. And this is going, just to say, this is the first session of two sessions that we're going to have about this subject. Let's start. In order to have good reports, we first need to have good data to hold that reports and to create something that's actually valuable. Right? So
that's correct, Michael. First, you need to remember, and me as working with customers in professional services, measurement it's all about. So you do your work on a daily basis. How you will know if you're doing a good job or a bad job? Are you overloaded? You're missing personnel. You're doing good. You're doing bad. Everything is about measurement. If you don't measure yourself, first you don't know where you are, and in a month ahead, 2 months ahead, 3 months ahead, a year from now, you don't know where you are or if you had any progress or not, if you haven't measured yourself. So first, it's all about measurement. And the second thing, it's also very important that you mentioned, you must have a valid data.
Right.
Otherwise, you will try to measure, you will try to create the reports, but if you don't have a valid data, if you don't capture the actual details in the service request, starting from statuses, through locations, through users, categories, if you don't capture the data correctly in the service request itself, so basically you can run the report, but you will have none from them.
So let's show our viewers a few areas in the system that is important to maintain. Because like Hanan said, I mean, you can create great reports, but if the data is not the correct data, then they're basically no benefit to us. And we have a few fields in SysAid that we always recommend our clients to maintain and to measure. So let's take a look at a few. I'll pass on.
Okay.
Let me just
share the screens with our viewers. So let me just go to an installation of SysAid. And first I will take you to Service Desk. And then I will take you to Service Desk Settings. This is a sub-menu within. And then I will take you to Escalation Rule. And why did we choose to start with that? Because the escalation rules, we showed that, by the way, in other webinars that we had, we are using the escalation rules to make sure that tickets are being closed automatically by the system. So for example, you have a ticket, you send a reply to the end user, waiting for a confirmation from him, and if he hasn't replied within 5 days and then within additional few days, then the ticket will be closed automatically. So why it's linked to the report, so once you run the report, you will have a valid data. You won't see their tickets, for example, that are active for 3 months.
Exactly.
So the system will help you to close the tickets automatically, and they will reflect a valid data inside your organization. So what we did in the escalation rule, again recommended to do that. So once we send a reply to the end user, If the ticket has been open for more than 3 days without any reply from the user, then we send a follow-up email. By the way, we give the user a chance to react. So escalate service records with type incidents with status awaiting response. So I'm waiting for the customer to reply. Triggers on 24 hours, 0 minutes after modified time. So the ticket hasn't been updated for the last 3 days. I will notify the end user and I change the status to follow-up. Give the end user an option to say, it's not working for me, it's working for me, yes or no.
Yes.
An additional escalation rule, after 7 days, just basically close the ticket. By the way, you all know from previous, I have to say it, but even though we spoke about it in previous versions,
Yes.
why here it's 24 and here it's 3 days? Because all is based on operating times, and it's 8 hours a day. That's why it's 24 hours, and that's why 7 days multiple 8 hours a day, it's 56 hours.
Yes.
So make sure that you have these escalation rules so you the data inside the reports will reflect a valid data. The next place I would like to take you in is the activities inside the ticket. So again, in the service desk, in the incidents area, if I will go into a specific incident, we have the activities tab, a built-in tab. You don't need to do anything, it's there. And here you will capture the actual time that you worked on a ticket. So a ticket can open at 8 a.m. and can be closed at 4 p.m. It means like 8 hours that it took you to solve the ticket. But it doesn't mean that you worked on the ticket for 8 hours. The actual time that you spent on the ticket will be captured right here. So you can say, I work from 5:30 till 6 p.m. The system will automatically capture the amount of time that you worked on the ticket. You can write here, did this and that, and thank you. That's, sorry, my fault. This and that. Clicking on add, and you can capture the activity will be captured automatically. By the way, I can capture even activities of other admins in the software, so I can say I did this, and Albandi, for example,
Something else.
these two. So we can capture activities of two admins that maybe worked on in parallel on
Yes.
this specific ticket, and the system, of course, will sum up it automatically. So activity is very important to measure the actual time you worked on the ticket. The next place, and quickly, we'll go to the survey. It's not a, I'm not going through the, let's just apply these changes. Okay, never mind.
Okay.
And then I will take you to the survey module. Again, very important to measure the satisfaction level of your end user. So the system has a built-in module feature to send a survey to be filled by the end user when a ticket is closed. And the end user will tell you whether you're doing a good service or you're providing a good service or a bad service. So again, utilize the survey module. Very, very important to see how you're acting from your end user's perspective, which is very important. The next thing I will take you through is the asset management for those who are using the asset management module. And again, CSAID reporting capabilities not sums up with the help desk only, also in asset management. So manage the software products right here. This is very, very beneficial. Also, we had a specific webinar about the software products, but this is a place where you will capture the actual licensing in the system. So also very important to go through this specific area. And the last thing I would like to say about that, again, I'm going to the service desk. I jumped maybe too quickly to the asset management, but from service desk, again, service desk setting menu, submenu, go to the categories. And categorizing the ticket is also one of the most important things in the ticket, because if all tickets will be on the same category, by the end of the year, you can't tell where your problems, what were the main issues. So the categories that acts in CSAID as a service catalog. So this is basically the services that you can provide or providing.
Yes.
So very, very, very important to see that you're working with the right categories, and each and every ticket is under the right categories. Otherwise, you can't measure correctly the items inside the organization.
Well, that's
I'm
great.
speaking fast only because we're 45 minutes and we have a lot to
We
catch
have a
up.
lot to cover today.
Yeah.
So let's let our users also see us. Well, that's basically great. So we saw very important areas. We're saying it over and over again that we actually have webinars about everything in depth. So you can go to our YouTube channel, CSA channel, and just go there. And I didn't mention that before. We have a chat representative to help you with any questions that you might have on every topic. Great. So we saw the areas. We have the infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start building reports. Now
Mhm.
we have to say reports in SysAid are created by admins only. It's not a permission that users get, and we need to set it up.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So again, let me share the screen with our audience, and this will do the job, I believe. Yes. So this is not something I want them to see,
Yeah.
but that's okay. Nothing important. Permission issue. Viewing reports in CSAID, like any other permission, will be handled under the user management section. And if you will go to a specific administrator, and let's assume take Al Bundy for example, this is our administrator. I will go to his permission tab, and to view the reports in CSAID, we have a specific permission for that. It's called View Analyzer. So once a report is you grant admin this specific permission, only then he will have this option in the menu. And of course, going to the analyzer, it's a built-in in the menus of CSAID, and this is the entry, and here we'll go to the analyzer section.
okay, so basically this is where we create the reports. So I think we're ready to start going over them. Let's just move into to the other account where we have
Okay,
the reports. Yes.
so again, going to the analyzer, this is just an environment with some data in. You can see, Michael, that when you're going into the analyzer, all of the reports beside this one that we will speak about later on, all of the reports that you currently see on the screens are built-in reports in
They
CSAID.
come out of the box.
So they come out of the box. You can see that CSAID comes with a lot of predefined reports. A lot of thought was placed whenever we generate or created these reports, and we will cover a few of them right here during this webinar. And in addition, you can see that the reports are in a folder structure, just to put them in logical areas where you can find the data. First, we have reports related to the help desk, and this has two specific folders. One of them is seeing the currently workload, what's going on currently right now in your help desk. The second one will be like service quality, to measure the level of service that you provide. Then we have some reports related to the asset management module. So CSAID, as I mentioned, have reports about different modules in the software. Highest values report, it's more for investigations, and if you would like to see problems, and we will go through some of the reports there.
Yeah.
Highest values report to show you, again, some insights, or maybe try to, sorry about that, I missed the word, but it happens.
Yeah.
Hopefully they got it, otherwise when I'll go through, they will understand. And the task and project also reports about the SLA module, and built-in reports about the password services module.
Yeah.
So let's dive into the first reports I would like to show them. And the first report I would like to show you, it's the open-closed tickets, open-closed records per period, and this is the first report right here. So clicking on that, and by the way, this is a general explanation about the reports in CSAID. Whenever you click on a report, so I was in this screen, clicked on this specific report, and I've got a prompt page. The prompt page is a place where I can put a predefined filters on this report. For example, in this report, we have predefined filters on categories, so I can select the relevant categories I want this report to focus on. I can, in this type, to say I want to focus on incidents, maybe requests, change or problems, all in one. As they say, all in one. So you have incident, all main entities related to the help desk. maybe a specific company, maybe a specific asset group, and if you can't find the specific filter you're looking for to run this report, you have the custom filter right here when you can click on that and select, okay, I would like this report, for example, to focus on admin group, this and that.
So anything that doesn't come out of the box, we can actually filter it
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, exactly. So if you can't find what you want to filter by, use the custom filter. This report has the option to group the results by a day, week, or a month.
Yes.
And in addition, you have a date range where you can put a free range right here. You can basically just select the dates. I can select even from 2007. And this is a free range, or you have predefined intervals like yesterday, last 7 days, last week, last 30 days, or last month. And in addition, you can select the output format, whether it will be a PDF, recommended, I like this layout. It can be also an Excel, or it can be a Java applet where the results are actually being displayed on the screen itself, not in a specific file that can be saved. You have the option to view the report now, and we will cover these options to schedule and save parameters when we will speak about the manager portal later on. Let's focus on view now. Let's see how report looks like. Clicking on submit, I will open this specific file, and I can see I asked to move the results per day. We can see we can see the title, of course.
Yes.
We can see the date range that I've selected or asked the report to run on. I can see the date this report has been generated, and now I ask to group by date, so I can see on the 10th I have opened 16 requests, 0 were closed. Something very important also we've had, and I would like go back for a second. Whenever we're speaking about reports, it's not only looking on the data, it's what you have or what you're doing with the data.
Right.
So looking on the report, saying, okay, I can see 16, I can see 0, I can see a gap between the open closed. It's not that you just view on the data itself. It's what do you have to do with the data. We will speak about satisfaction survey just in a few minutes. And if you are not doing anything with the results, so don't run this report.
Right. You need to analyze it.
So you must have a predefined actions that you are planning to do with the results.
Yes.
So if you see, for example, on satisfaction survey, you're getting a poor, and you know if I'm getting a poor result on the survey, I need to contact the customer and make sure or see what happens. This is an action that you're doing based on the result.
report.
So if you're seeing the results and you're doing nothing with, so don't run this report. So the only thing I'm saying that run the significant report or run the important report that you want to run, but also have some action items to yourself, a to-do list that you say, okay, if I'm getting these results, I know I need to do that. If I'm getting these results, I know I need to do that. And
do it for a purpose.
maybe sometimes things that you need to maintain. So
Right.
you're doing good things and you need to maintain the same procedure, sometimes things that you need to improve. So
Okay, good.
we
insight.
jumped a little bit from the main
That's
subject,
important.
but it was very important for me to say. So again, the open closed, we can see I asked to group the results by day. So we can see that we have on this specific day, the 10th of March, we had 16 tickets open, but none of them were closed. This is
That's a problem.
Yeah, this is a problematic day, and the action item is I need to see what happens on this day. Maybe two guys from the IT department were sick. Maybe
Yes.
we were on vacation. Maybe I don't know, something else happened, because we have a big gap between the numbers of tickets that were open versus the number of tickets that were closed, and I need to investigate this. This is a regular day. One ticket was open, one ticket was closed, and this day basically no tickets were open and a lot of tickets were closed. Not a lot in this example, but 2 tickets were closed, and this is a good day for us. So we closed more tickets then, and we need to see what we did good on this day, that we closed more tickets that were open, and we need to investigate what happened on this day that 16 tickets were open and none of them were actually closed. The graph should be 2 parallel lines mainly most of the time if you're doing good. So the number of tickets that are open are equals almost to the number of tickets that are closed, and it should be like 2 parallel lines.
So the
nearby, and this is problematic days. The peaks, the high values in the report show you the problematic days.
So the next thing we need is a drill down report, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
So of course we are showing out of the box, and CSAID comes with out of the box report to help you drill down to the actual data of the open closed records per period, and this report is basically called detailed open closed per period, and this is the report right here. Clicking on that, the same predefined filters, again the same grouping options. It will just help you to drill down into the actual results. So if you want to investigate and see what were the problems or the good
Great.
things you see. So this is the detailed closed active records per period, and here you will see the actual
now we
data.
can see actually the problematic day and
Yeah, we see
what was
the
open.
problematic tickets, and we can go into each and every ticket and see what was the problem, and we can see a correlation between the numbers. 3 tickets in total were closed, 14 tickets are still in pending or open, and 17 tickets. If you will compare it to the previous report, you will see a correlation to the numbers.
great. Okay.
One more important report related to the activities that we showed you, that you need to capture
Yes.
the actual time that you spent on a ticket. So the first one will be activities by administrator. This report will show you the distribution of hours of each and every admin and how much each and every admin spent on each and every ticket. Running this report on the preferred date range will give you the following results. You can see the specific admin that currently captured or logged in the work. You can see the date that he did the job, the actual time that he spent from the time to time, service request, the number of the service request, the title of the service request, and the description that he placed in the activities, and the total time. The system, of course, will sum up the values to say this admin spent in this date range 30 minutes, this admin, Mark Wilson, spent 15 minutes, you did only 3 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah,
well,
I should be fired. No,
and the total time basically to the organization.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, please.
The nice thing about this report is you can see the problem, and you can see if the time that they spent on the problem is
Yeah.
actually reasonable. That's one thing, and you can actually use this for billing. I mean, if you did an external work, you know exactly.
No one can
Yeah.
fool you, because if someone has problem with reset password and he logged in 2 hours, then
It's not logical.
yeah, you can see the data. And this is activities by administrator. Again, very important to see on a weekly basis. We will speak about the scheduling of reports, but
Right.
very important to see on you as IT manager on a weekly basis where your admins spend their time. And if you want to see the overall picture,
The overall.
now we're going the other way around,
the other way around.
from the details to
Yeah.
the high level. So if we will look on help desk activity summary, this report will give you a higher level of the data. And the same 4 hours that we saw in the activities are actually right here. And we can see that on a specific category,
Which category?
we spent 15 minutes this period. And on ERP, we spent 45. And by the way, this is also a very good report. You can see
Yes.
on which items in your organization you spend the time.
Right.
So you can see that your most of your time goes on
For
server
servers.
issues. So maybe you can improve there. Maybe you can do training.
Mhm.
So again, to-do list and action items that you
Yes.
have to do with the data. This tells you that you have main problems on servers. Now you have to see, maybe you need to train the people, maybe courses, maybe change infrastructure, maybe
Exactly.
open a problem to investigate what's going on with my servers, why I spend so many hours on the servers
Right.
versus other categories in my organization.
Great.
Oh, I can speak about reports.
Yeah.
You have no idea, Michael.
I'm sure.
And you gave me only 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, that's what we have.
The next place I would like to take our audience to is to the service quality. So we spoke about the workload. The workload is where you are right now, what's going on with your help desk, and the next thing I would take them to is the service quality. Basically to see how well you perform. And I will focus, let me take you to another system, sorry jumping between, but I will focus on the satisfaction survey. As mentioned, enable the survey,
Yes.
send it to the end user, encourage them to answer the survey. And here you have 3 reports about the survey results. One of them is satisfaction level by administrator. So clicking on that, again, you have prompt with filters that you can place. You have date range, and if I can show the comments of the end user in the reports if I would like. Clicking on that, I will basically see how good each and every admin did from the end user perspective. And again, it's very, very, very important. So we have one question: how would you rate the quality of service you received for this service request? We have 3 options: great, never, excellent, and then you're making me funny. You see the answers: great, never had better service, and excellent. That's nice. You can see the average results. So you can see it's 2.33. So between 2 and 3, the average is right here in the middle. I don't know if it's good or bad.
Yeah.
Depends on your business, and depends on your targets, and depends on your goals. And you can say, okay, I would like to be at 2.5. What I need to do, again, action items, to-do list. What I need to do in order to be at 2.5. Go on the problematic tickets and see on which tickets you did good, you did bad,
Yes.
and focus on the issues, or focus on the problematic tickets that you get a low score.
Yes.
In addition to that, you can also say, this is by admin.
By admin.
So maybe you can find the problematic admin that provide a bad service, but maybe you are providing a bad service by the product, by the service that you provide. If I go to satisfaction level by category, and as I mentioned, the categories in CSAID acts as service catalog.
Yes.
So if I'll click on that, and we will see the actual results, we will see that, for example, for basic software, I don't know.
This,
Yes, but I can see, for example, if we have valid data, sorry, I thought we had some my mistake, but if we're going into basic software, and here we get a low average, that means
Then we
that
know
maybe
we
we
have a
have problem in this category. We don't know to solve the issues. It takes us a long time to solve these issues.
Yes.
I don't know, the person who is handling these issues is providing. So again, it's not just looking at the data, what you do with the data. And again, also one small important thing about satisfaction survey, number of responses. If you have a low number of responses, maybe consider to ignore these results.
Yes, because
if one person give you a poor, it doesn't mean that you don't need to speak with him and see what the problem is, but it doesn't mean that you're providing a poor service.
Yeah, because not everybody can be.
If you have 1,000 records per month and you have like 80 responses, 100 responses, it's good.
Yeah.
Then you can make, okay, this is the average. And you can see it in graph, and very nice. So
Okay.
these were the satisfaction. I would like to jump, since we are, I would like just to jump to one report about inventory and asset management module. Basically, just to show you the CSAID, of course, don't focus only on help desk.
Yeah.
We are providing a full solution, also help desk, asset management, CMDB, changes, IDL, all of course in one tool. So also regarding the inventory, here, if I'll go to the software hardware inventory, this is one of the reports, the most common reports that I'm running on customers. So also related to the asset management, I can see the distribution of assets in my organization, for example, based on operating system type. So just clicking on that and open it,
Okay.
I
think we should mark. Okay, that's also great.
I can see that I have like six computers with Windows 7. Again, one computer, 7 professional, and so on and so forth. So I can see basically the operating system distribution in my organization. But again, you mentioned, and I forgot.
Yeah, you need to check.
Yeah.
Show
us the details. In addition to that, we'll give you the actual computers.
What's installed on each computer.
Yes. Not only the numbers, but also the actual computers. So Windows 7 Enterprise, these are the actual computers with that. And not only related to operating system. You can have like based on CPU, based on BIOS, based on memory, and you can see what needs upgrade maybe.
Yes.
So no longer computers with 2 gigabytes of RAM. Okay, I can see which computers I need to put more memory, and so on and so forth. And operating system and softwares, it's one of the 2 recommended ones.
Mm-hmm.
So this is also regarding software, just to show you that we're focusing and we can bring some more options to the table. And going the last thing, the predefined reports in the software, we spoke about the highest values reports, and this is for more like investigating and looking on from a high level perspective on the data inside your help desk. So we can see, you can see that we have these 5 reports, categories that contains the most service requests. Right here is the first one. So you can see basically where the problems are. If most of the tickets are based on servers, so I need to focus on servers and deal with that.
Yeah.
Categories with the longest service request time. So I can see maybe I have issues or categories that I'm spending more time to solve.
Yes.
Again, maybe I need training.
Mhm.
Maybe I need to hire some
Yes.
more technical persons.
Uh-huh.
And so maybe I need consultant, and so on and so forth. For example, categories with the longest SR time in total, in average, and we have it based on categories.
Mhm.
We have the same report based on administrator.
Administrator.
We have the same report based on companies. We have the same report almost based on end users. And we have additional highest report values right here. But
Right.
you can see the same data from different angles, from this different
Yes.
perspective. Let's focus on categories that contains the most service requests. This is one of the important one. This report will show you where what the problems inside the organization. Clicking on that, clicking on submit, clicking on OK, and we can see a nice in a graph also. So we have problems with, most of the problems are with user workstations, but also servers is a very high level category.
Yeah.
And we can say, okay, ERP, we had 1 ticket throughout the year, nothing important. So we need to focus our energy in reducing the numbers under user workstations and then on servers. So this report will tell you where to put the effort on. And the one more report that I would like to show you, categories with the most SR time, okay, with the longest SR time. In average, okay, we take the average, not the total, because
Yeah.
I can have 1 ticket that doesn't shows me the right. So we'll take the average, and again, clicking on submit and clicking on OK, I can see where on which categories I spend most of my times. So I
Yeah.
can see that I have problems with basic software and ERP, and together with the previous report, I can see again where I'm focusing the energy, where I'm losing the data, where I can improve, and where are the places that I need.
And this report basically is calculated by the timers.
Yes.
So that's another thing that's
Yeah.
we didn't say that, but that's another thing that's important to maintain.
Yeah.
That we have right timers.
So we haven't said it. If you already mentioned, again, you know the timers. We'll not dive in.
Yeah, just
Okay. Remember that the timers will give you the.
yeah. Just
okay,
remark.
let's-
You wanna?
No.
Okay.
Going back to the analyzer, the timer is very important.
Yeah, it's,
No- yes.
Okay. So
let's show them that
Yeah.
they're still alive.
great. Well,
We've spoke for 20 minutes, so this is
Yeah.
all in the screen.
yeah, you can breathe. I'm going to speak for a little bit now. So that's great. We saw all these reports. We saw how they can benefit us. Now, like we said, when you're managing an entire year, you're managing your department. There are some things that we would like to see monthly and annually. Okay, so what are good reports? Basically, I think all of these reports are good to go through manually. Monthly and annually, but
Yes.
We don't want to run them manually. We want to do it automatically,
Yeah.
right? So let's see how we can do that.
First, I would like to focus on the first thing that you said. You need to run the report on a weekly, monthly,
On a regular basis.
on a regular basis. Get the results, so then you can compare. So you get the reports again and again to your email. I'll show that just in a minute. But the important thing is that you always see the data, and then you can see if you're doing a progress or you're going back.
Yes.
It's really, really important to get these reports on a scheduled interval, weekly, monthly, yearly, recommended.
Yes.
So you were asking how do we do that, and next time bring me a glass of water.
Yeah, yeah. We'll let that out in this webinar. You know what? Before you show that, you mentioned it's related, but something that we didn't show is the IT benchmark. If you want to see the
we have time. You want to go through, or maybe we'll save it to the second session?
You know what? Yes.
Let's save it to the second session because we have like 10 minutes, and I would like to focus on the scheduling.
No problem.
Even though we decided just in advance that we will go through, let's keep the IT benchmark. CICE does a lot of other reporting options.
Yes.
IT benchmark, metrics, asset management dashboard, the dashboards in the manager portal, and other places where you can see data and reporting within the software. Let's keep
We'll
it.
show that the next session.
We have 2 sessions about reporting, so.
Okay. So scheduling.
Yeah. So in order to schedule, let me go back to screen. I don't know why the emails keep jumping. But related to scheduling the report. So you said I want it to be done on these reports to run on a scheduled basis. I don't want to go manually and run them again and again.
Yes.
So in order to schedule reports, to have the ability to schedule reports, you must have the manager portal permission right here. So this is the manager portal entry. And again, like anything else in CICE, the user management, we have a specific permission for that. So if I'm going again to Al Bandi, this is our administrator. I'll go to the permission issue, and there is a specific permission called manager, access to manager portal. Only admins with this specific permission will have the ability to schedule reports and access the module called manager portal. So clicking on that, now whenever I will run a report from the predefined reports even, let's take one of the reports that we worked on, open closed records per period. So clicking on that, I have 2 options just right here in the lower section of the screen, and we said that we will speak about them. So the first option is the save parameters to my report, because if I'm running a report and defining a filters, for example, I want it on these categories and these and work on all and on a specific company and specific asset group and so on, I don't want to manually put these filters again and again and again. So I can click on Save Parameters to my report, clicking on Submit. Okay, no data. But under My Reports section, okay, when I go to here, I will basically have this report with all the predefined parameters that I've had in the past, and you can see it saved the categories, it saved the SR type, it saved the company, it saved the asset group, and so on. So if you want to save parameters and not put them manually again and again, you will do it right here. And if you would like to schedule a report to run on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, again, you will run the report, and in addition to save parameters, you will do scheduling, and you will decide to run this report on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. But moreover, you will define here to whom you want this report to be sent to. Clicking on Browse, you will say, I want this report to be sent to Al Bandi and Al Fresco and so on and so forth. Clicking on Select, these users will receive the output as defined as PDF to their email. And in that way, you don't need to sit in front of CICE all day to run a manual report. The reports will be pushed to your email box on a daily, weekly, monthly basis.
Great. Well, that's great. I mean, this is really beneficial, and again, can take your department forward. Now, we've spoken about out-of-the-box reports, but with the manager's portal, we can also create custom reports. Okay, so that's the beauty of it. And basically, the manager's portal will set the basis to our next webinar, which will talk about advanced customizing of reports. But now let's see how we can do it with the interface,
Okay.
with the manager's portal.
So basically, screening it. Sorry. And let's see how I can create this my custom report. All of them are built-in ones, and let's see how I can create this my custom report. So in order to do that, again, I will go to the manager portal. I will go now to a section called design reports, and here I can see all the reports, and let's create a new one. Creating a new report is by clicking the report wizard. You will see these 3 steps workflow that you have to go through. The first thing you need to do is to select the main entity that you want to work on. As I mentioned, CSAID gives us a full solution. Also, you will be able to create not only custom reports on service requests, but both on activities, assets, tasks in the task and project module, configuration item in the CMDB module, software products, catalog, and suppliers. You can also, by the way, join this entity with other entities. It's like if you're familiar with the SQL query,
Yes.
it's just like making a join between 2 different tables. So SR can be joined with activity, can be joined with asset, can be joined with task, and again can be joined with configuration item from the CMDB. And we, for now, just make a pure, plain report on the SR itself. The caption will be my demo report, and it will be visible, of course. Clicking on next will take me to the second step in the workflow. Here I will select the fields that I would like to see. By the way, you have 2 options to see: a detailed report and a summary. I will show the summary just in 2 minutes. Let's go on the detailed report to see the actual value. I can select the ID, I can select description, I can select assign to, for example. And not only that you can select the predefined fields exist in the system, but also any custom field that you create, you can include it in the report. So if I have a field that's called my custom field, I can include it in the report. I can group the results on the screen, like making a group by in the query by different items in the entity of the SR. I will do it by assign to, so I would like to see the details by assign to. And you can have 2 levels of grouping. Let's do only one in this specific example. The last step in the workflow is selecting the filters. You remember when running a report, you have a prompt window where you can define some criteria prior to running this report. So I can create criteria. Let's assume I would like based on admin group or assigned to. Clicking on finish. And we have a new report called My Demo Report. Now this is a report like any other report in the system. You can schedule it, you can save parameters, you can do anything with, and of course you can run it. And this is basically the report. You can see that the admin group filter has been added right here as I requested. And let's assume that I will go to admin group none. Again, incident, same layout as your familiar date range that you can select. Output format, view now, save parameters, and so on. Clicking on submit, I have a new report, and basically these are the results. You can see my demo report, same date range, and these are the fields that I asked to include: ID, description, assigned to, and my custom field that I
created in the entities.
Correct. And you can see the actual numbers right here, and the results, of course, grouped by assigned to as I asked. So this flexibility, Michael, provides you the ability to create basically any kind. Camera. This flexibility allows you to create any kind of report that is, I don't know, you want specific fields, you want specific columns, you have it there. Just go and do it on your own. You don't need anything else. One last thing, I promised to show them a summary graph. So just one last example before we'll wrap it up right here. So let's create a summary report,
Okay.
which is the second option of creating a report. And again, report wizard, I will work on the service request. I will click on next. I will now, instead of clicking on detail, I will select to see summary with graph.
Yes.
And whenever I click summary with graph, you can see that no fields needs to be selected. I can decide to see only the top values or all values of the report. Let's assume I want all values. And let's group the results by assigned to. So basically what I will see is how many tickets are assigned to each and every admin.
Right.
I can do it by location, by department, by company, and so on and so forth. Next, let's assume no criteria or no specific filters to be defined. And this is, I should have changed the name, but let's assume it's new report. Again, let's run it. And what I will see, it's a nice graph with a nice pie chart showing me how many tickets are assigned to Michael, how many to Nan, how many to James, and so on and so forth. This is the graph, and of course the table is the summarized just below, the assigned to group by and the total counts.
Great.
So this is basically covers the options in the report wizard, allowing you to create any kind, not any kind, but the reports that you wanted are not predefined in the software.
And this is amazing, and I'm actually kind of looking forward to the next session, and we're going to learn some cool stuff there.
Yeah, I showed you what's built in.
Yeah.
In the next session, I'll
take
show
it to
you
the next step.
Yeah, what
To
you
the
can
next
build
step.
on your own.
Yeah, so that's going to be a very, very interesting session. We're going to have it in June, actually, not long from today. So stay tuned. That's basically it. Thank you again, Hanan.
Pleasure.
It's a pleasure. And as always, we're looking forward to your feedback. Any ideas that you might have for other subjects or webinars. We're here to get your ideas, and we hope you have a very nice day or evening or wherever you come from, and we'll see you on our next webinar. Bye bye.